Hello everybody, Average Gamer here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. It's been a while, and these things we talk all things Mechwarrior Online. I just want to mention and give a shout out to the last person to subscribe to my channel while I was recording this before I recorded it. When I started jabbering on about other stuff, was Kaiser Wilhelm. Thank you for subscribing. You're the last person to subscribe while I was recording, so I just want to say thank you. But we're going to get back into this. So, the battle value, or not, sorry, the ranking system that's going to be a part of Solaris 7. Long story short, they want to do a ranking system. This ranking system will be based out of a 1 to 7, so there'll be 7 slots. All mechs will be slotted into these 7 positions and all that stuff. Every mech will be somehow valued in and slotted into its 1 or 7. To be 100% honest with you, I don't think it's going to be that easy. I think they're going to try to do all lights, all separate, mediums, and heavies and assaults. And then they're going to try and get mixed, because they're saying there's going to be 7 slots. So if you look, right, we already got 4, right? And then we have part lights and mediums, 5. Mediums and heavies, that's 6. And then between heavies and assaults, it's 7. So I really and honestly truly think that they're trying to take it the easy way. They're going to take all the lights and mediums and basically say, what are the really good lights, what are the really shitty mediums, and put those together. They're going to do the same thing with the mediums and the heavies. Which are the really goods, which ones are the really bads. Slot those together. Heavies and assaults, and there you go. And basically they're going to break every group up except for assaults and lights into 2 groups. Heavies and mediums are going to be broken up into 3 groups each. And there you go. They're going to say overperformers, underperformers, and okay performers. Boom. I don't like that. What I think they should do is break it up into a whole slot of 10 and create a value system based off of firepower. Basically, what weapons this thing can take into play. Now that's potential firepower, both minimum and maximum. So that's like where you look at how many slots is on a mech and associate value associated with the weapon systems. For example, say a light machine gun is a value of 1. Well, a Gauss rifle is a value of, say, 12. I just pulled that number out of my ass. But, and then you look and say, well, and energy, small laser or micro laser is worth 1. While a large pulse or heavy laser is worth 12. I don't know. Look at face. If you argue with the values of I'm coming up with, remember, I'm just making this up. But yeah, so when you work it out, right, it's be like, okay, well, urban mech with no armor is worth whatever. It now has 4 machine guns, which are all lights. That's an additional 4 points, and an ERPPC, I think. A snub-nose PPC. That's blank value. Add that value up, that's the mech you have. Now, what kind of engine does it have? Well, it has an XL whatever engine, and it goes speed 104.5. One of your favorite radio stations. Okay, well that's worth blank. Its heat efficiency out of 2 is 1.62. Okay, well for every blank amount of heat efficiency, it's worth the following points. It's using all slots. Well, if it's using up all slots, because it only has 78, I think every mech has 78. 78. I mean, I'm not a genius, but yeah, all mechs have 78 slots. I never realized. I didn't even think of that. But yeah, it's like, it's tonnage. How much of the tonnage is it utilizing? There you go. That's how many points. How many tons is it? That's a certain amount of points. How much armor does it have? Yet again, set amount of points. And slowly just work it out. Jump jets, no jump jets. ECM, no ECM. Stealth, no stealth. A lot of this stuff is probably going to be calculated at the back end. What I would like to see is on this screen here, where it would show me, I've got 4 ballistic, 2 energy, 1 AMS, and a tier ranking of. And that mech is tier 1, 2, 5, 9, 10, whatever. But I also want to show me what most players are currently tiered. So when I'm building up the mech in the mech lab, for example, I wouldn't mind an option here where it would give me 1 through whatever tier. And grayed out. If it's not going to be, if the mech can't get to that tier, okay, fine. If I click the buttons, have a pre-built loadout for those tiers for me. A tier 1 loadout for an Urban Mech 60, or R60, is 4 light machine guns and a snub-nose PPC. A tier 2 build-out for a Urban Mech 260 is 2 ER PPCs and 4 light machine guns. I think I could do 4. Something kind of crazy. Oh, like I can do another light PPC there. I'm just trying to remember how I did it. I think it was armor. Was it a heatsink? Either way, 2 light PPCs and a couple heavy machine guns or something like that is is the tier 2, and the tier 3 variant of the R60, or even the tier 2 variant is an AC-20 something. Tier 3 is a whole bunch of UAC 2s or RAC 2s or something like that. Something very interesting. Something show me on the left. How far it can go. Can it go from 1 to 3? Can it go from 2 to 6? Can it go from 10 all the way down to 1 technically? Say it's a Kodiak, and I just put on I put a whole bunch of machine guns on it, and that was it. What would happen? Or just 8 small pulse. Show me on the left what tiers this thing can hit. Show me what tier I'm currently in when I'm building out the mech. Show me where I could and could not, or where I should and shouldn't build the mech out. Give me some guidance. Tell me. Right now your mech is tier 1. If you up the armor, it'll be tier 2. Well, if I up the armor, I'm gonna have to lose out a weapon. Something like that. Show me what the values are at least, or even just show me on the left the value blank to blank, 1 through 10, what the values are. So as I'm building up the mech, show me my tonnage here, but then also show me what my value is. Am I at a rating of say 380? Does that no? Could that put me at tier 3? Maybe it's every 100 ratings. Every 100 is is a rank. I don't know, but I think this is actually going to be something really, really hard for them to do, and I have a sad feeling that they're going to kind of take it the way I mentioned earlier. Yeah, I want to continue. Where they're basically going to look at everything and clump everything by going just lights and mediums and heavies, heavies and assaults, and then assaults. Because that's going to be too easy. Not going to be a fan of that right now, if that's in case what they actually do. But yeah, so I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that they should come up with some massive value system, break it up from 7 to 10, base the whole system off of the chassis first, variant second, weapon locations third, armor. I said weapon. Let me start that over again. Should they base it off of just a simple good performers, bad performers, and okay performers? And basically just the way people actually play them? Basically efficiency versus non-efficiency versus meh? Or should they actually base it off a value system where it's variant is worth a certain amount of points first. Then you take each variant separately and make modifications to that number. Then take engine values, we'll say module value, like system values. So we're talking engines, jump jets, ECM, no ECM, stealth, all that stuff. Weapon locations. So the higher up certain weapon systems are, the more valuable they are. Well, certain weapon systems are just based off of a set value in the first place. Like for example, SRMs or missile points on arms that are low slung are not worth as good as missile points up near the head. And energy ballistic, same thing. And then obviously maneuverability, because every mech now has a set maneuverability, and then armor. So that's what, six or seven different different things to impact what the mech is actually worth, and break it down and figure out a good formula, and then basically throw in all the mechs, throw in all the options. Even if they can come up with some basic thing where it's okay. So R63 with its weapon locations, the amount of armor it can have when it's stripped. Like for example, the R60. If I click on it here and go load out, we're gonna strip this puppy. Strip all the armor. So it has 0 armor right now. It's using 49 out of 78 slots. It has a theoretical firepower of 250, like every other mech. Jump distance, all that stuff. Strip this mech down and go, okay. As of this moment, this mech automatically has 14 armor in most locations except for the right arm or the left arm, which is 10. But say, okay, this is how much this mech's worth. Now, because of its size, it's already using 1.5 tons just for structure, basically. Okay, what is this worth? Okay, well, what is a locust worth when it's stripped? What's a Kodiak worth when it's stripped? Okay, now, what's the next stage? Engine, armor, blah, 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 blah. Work it all out, figure out an algorithm, and then basically have the algorithm just punch out a number. Most likely, though, you'll see a locust or at one end, and you're going to see the Kodiak at the other end, most likely. And then, once you have that, then you can also look at it and say, well, here's the thing, right? Trebuchet is worth this many points, but then it's really not that effective in the game for whatever reason. Therefore, instead of it being in tier 3, we're going to move it into tier 2. And then see how people play it with the mechs. If a mech is performing very well, promote it up to the next tier. And demote a mech down a tier. So you want to keep a set amount of mechs in each tier, right? And I'm talking mechs, all of them. So not all chassis will have every single one of its variants in every single one. Like for example, Kodiak 3, it's gonna be in 10, but that doesn't mean all of them are gonna be in 10, right? There might be 1 in 9, and there might be a couple in 9, and then maybe 1 in 8. You never know, right? That's one of the things I like about this. Things are gonna be spread out a little bit. It's not just gonna be all urban mechs are tier 1. It's like, well, what about a really good one? It could also be tier 2 or tier 3, right? So I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna stop ranting. I'm gonna drink my coffee. I'm going to render this video and throw it up. Tell me what you guys think. What should they take into factor when they create this system? Should they do the 7-tier system where they're basically taking the 4 tiers of mechs and basically just bridging them all? Or should they actually turn around and get all the mechs, strip them all down, and work out an actual value worth? And say, following mechs are worth this much. Then as you add this, the following things are worth more. Even if they say a mech, 30-ton mech, is worth blank points. Now, the urban mech is worth a little bit more than whatever because it has extra armor or whatever. Extra different engines, obviously, well, engines are worth points, right? Obviously, that you build out your mech and you put your mech in the tier you want it to be. Have the max potential. Even to tell it, hey, the max potential of an urban mech, if you optimize the living snot out of it, is tier 3. And then give it tier 3 build. Click it, boom, now you're in tier 3. But be careful, you're an urban mech and you're in tier 3. You could be going against a really crappy heavy or a really crappy medium. You never know. But with that in mind, thanks for watching. Tell me what you guys think down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.